Gradar.
Hi, my name is Philipp and I'm the founder and today's CEO of Gradar. So today I'm going to give you a quick demo of the system. So the team asked me to keep it short to 10 minutes and I'm going to give my best. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to share my screen. So this is like doing this interactively and you will probably hear the same jokes that I make now uh, in a personal demo as well. It's just what happens. All right, let's take a look at gradar. Gradar is a system for point factor-based job evaluation. Or in other words, it's a system for analytical job evaluation. This type of job evaluation is needed to be in compliance with several pay transparency and equal pay legislations around the world. It's much more robust, it's much more reliable, and it's often much better to explain why jobs are being evaluated differently in an organization. So when we look at gradar, and this is the only slide that I'm going to show, we have 3 career paths with 25 grades. And on top of our system, there sits an additional area called the executive levels. And there are 16 executive levels. Our executive levels are defined through the size of the organization and other scoping factors, as well as the responsibility of the jobs on executive level. Well, when we look at the other 25 grades that we have, there are those 3 career paths. There's individual contribution from grade 1 to 19. There's project management from grade 10 to 21. And then there's people management from 11 to 25. You can see this huge overlap between career paths, which guarantees that any kind of organization can use gradar to evaluate their jobs. So it could be a classic hierarchical organization, or it could be a very modern, delayered, agile organization that has a very strong focus on expert roles, for example. All of this works, and when I look at our clients, we have seen them all, and from every industry as well. Well, that's it in terms of PowerPoint and slides. Let's dive into the system. So the system is web-based. There's no legacy software. It's this system that you can see here, and here we are looking at a demo account, so some of the data might look a bit funny. Well, there are a couple of features. So we do not only talk about job evaluation, but we talk about job architecture. So the idea behind it is that job evaluation is not used independent from market benchmarking or competencies or job descriptions and compensation structures, but it is all integrated. So when you look at our reports for job architecture, you can see there are jobs, there are the grading results, there's a cross comparison, but there's then also information about the compensation structures and job matching towards salary surveys and market data, competencies, and everything. Then there are some analytical features, and the analytical features were built with a focus on compensation. So here we're looking at the gender pay gap. We're looking at an internal compensation analysis, as well as a classic feature like compa ratio analysis. And in addition, there are many, many options to configure and adapt the system to your own environment, be it a compensation model with pay bands or pay groups, be it your own compensation surveys with market data, or your own variables when it comes to your own job levels in the organization, or some locations or user-defined hierarchies that would help to structure the jobs in the organization. For Enterprise Edition users, there's a very powerful access tool available, or access management component available that can, in a very granular way, steer the access rights within the application. So one of the main features that we have is our cross comparison. So every project will have their own jobs shown here. And you can see how quickly I've just filtered this comparison. And anyone who's ever built a cross comparison in Excel or PowerPoint knows how great this tool is. Yeah, so on the y-axis, you would see the grades in your organization, and on the x-axis, in this case, it's the organization units. So basically, this view shows us that all the jobs in grade 15 are of equal value to the organization, whether they are from individual contribution, from project management or people management, does not matter at this stage, because they were evaluated and all show a grade 15 associated with this job title. But let me dive into one of the jobs that we have here. And it's the standard job that I will always show in one of those demos. It's the specialist HRM. So this is a job profile. Here you can see the master data. So the master data comes with the job title. We have a job code, and the job code would be needed to synchronize this with SuccessFactors or Workday or any other tool that has actual job management capabilities. And then we align this job title here with something we call organization unit. So this is basically a really configurable tree structure that would be adapted based on the organization's needs. And the same would be true for a job function that you could define, or a job cluster where you might even want to add your own definition of terms. So the system is very, very, very flexible in what it can do. It has multi-language support. So when I switch to Espanol, I'm not switching to German. Yeah, my accent must be enough for the time being. So here we have los profesionales in Spanish. So we would have the entire user interface and all of the grading factors available in multiple languages at no extra cost. But let's switch back to English. And then there's one element called the global job family. And thereof we have more than 450. They all come with a summary and typical activities and synonyms, and they help us to characterize a job. So in combination of the master data and the grading result, the system can do a couple of amazing things. So this job here was evaluated as an individual contributor in grade 12 based on several factors. So we are looking at professional knowledge needed, at experience needed, at problem solving, at processes and their complexity, at functional responsibility, and finally at communication. Then there's shown, and this is just the view mode, yeah, and then the one-liner is shown that explains the level of requirement for the job. And then there's a detailed definition available for this one-liner, but there's also a detailed definition available for the entire factor. So this is also something that we could see when we go into the actual grading exercise. To do this, I just hit Edit. I choose my career path, be it individual contribution, management, project management, or executive. I click on Next, and now I'm in the actual evaluation mode. So here, for professional knowledge, I can select one of 9 levels. So here we're talking about the first degree, and this is the UK language pack that we are looking at here. So we have the one-liner, then there's the detailed definition available. And in this case, it's in alignment with the EQF, RQF, NVQ, and BTEC levels. And then based on this selection here, for the other factors, we are going to see a highlighting or printing in bold of other levels. So the system helps to guide the eye and helps us to make an informed decision when it comes to the grading. I'm not going to go through the entire grading here. You're most welcome to sign up for a free trial and give it a shot yourself. So the outcome is a grade 12, translated in the organization's own leveling. It's a level E, but this is super flexible. It could be Roman letters, it could be numbers, it could be titles. So we can do whatever you want. And now the system does a couple of very smart things. It will take this grading result here, together with some of the factors, combine it with the global job family from the master data selection, and will give us job matches to a variety of compensation surveys. But this is a selection thereof. And so those who have worked with compensation surveys before will recognize the benefit of this feature right away. For those who haven't, let me tell you, you're saving a lot of time and a lot of headache by not having to go through the PDF files or Excel files from various vendors to make to make up your own mind to select appropriate survey job codes. So this is something that the system and its AI does for you. It uses your internal relativities, translates them into market data or into market relativities, so that once you have uploaded third-party market data, you would be able to see this market data here on the job profile. And in addition, we have a feature that will use the information from the grading exercise together with the master data to show job-specific job matches for competencies. So here we have the behavioral anchors that are relevant for this type of job. And we have the option to generate a job description based on title and grading factors and job family, so that we can show within a couple of seconds a possible general purpose of a job, together with some main duties and responsibilities, technical skills, and communication requirements. So this is a very exciting feature when you build your own job architecture, as it helps you combine everything in one tool and provide other systems with this information here. So once we've done the job grading, we are going to have our cross comparison. Let me show you one thing. So here it shows the grades, but I'm also able to show my own levels that I have defined as an organization, and that might be A, B, C, D, E, F, G, or something else. And I have the ability to run something like a gender pay gap analysis. So the data needed for this is obviously employee pay data, can either be imported through Excel, or it can be synchronized from an HR information system. And we support dozens of systems through our middleware called Combo. So we are able to connect to be it SuccessFactors, Workday, or Personio, Factorial, Efficient.io, Sage. So all of these systems are part of the package, and we are able to read employee data from those systems. But the exciting thing is, especially for the a bit more simple systems, we can even send information back onto the employee profiles. So we can kind of supplement the missing job management in many of the modern SaaS-based systems out there. So you wouldn't have to buy the very, very expensive systems that have a fully fledged job and position management. But coming back to our gender pay gap analysis, it shows an unadjusted gender pay gap. It will give us insights into the demographic data. So this is a feature we also call the glass ceiling analysis. And this example shows there's a glass ceiling between grade 12 and 13, because there are no women above grade 12, just men. So that's definitely an example for unequal opportunities in an organization. There's a bit more insight into the grade-based view, because every job would be evaluated in the system. So you get your compa ratios per grade, you get your gender pay gap per grade, both for median and average values. And we have an adjusted analysis, and this is basically a regression analysis that is going to take into account things like grade, average or median, age possibly, or job family, or a combination thereof. So it's a system that will help us understand our actual gender pay gap and compare to the almost 30% that we saw on the unadjusted analysis. The gender pay gap goes down to, in this example, to just short of 6%, once we take into account global job family, and once we take into account age and length of service, it goes down to less than 2%. So this helps us a lot. And by using the filters here, we can actually learn more about certain job families or departments or whatever you have configured in here. So the other thing that we can do then is we can create compensation models. That's also very exciting. So a compensation model could be a set of pay bands. So pay bands are very exciting when it comes to setting the organization's willingness and ability to pay for jobs on a certain grade. So we can do this grade-based, but we can also do this grade and job family-based, which means you can buy or you can define any kind of pay structure that is relevant for your organization. And we do this by combining market data and internal analysis together with the ability to define, minimum, maximum level of pay, a midpoint, and any number of sections in between. And the system will then give us some key figures like costs to increase everybody up to minimum, to midpoint, the number of outliers below and above. It will show us a salary distribution of our incumbents, and it will allow us to finely configure midpoint differentials and spread, as well as the number of segments and short-term incentives, either as an absolute number or a percentage on top of base pay. All of this is then combined with a wonderful comparison analysis. So once you have your pay bands defined, you can then run a comparison analysis that will give us a detailed information about the distribution of employees in those pay bands. And yet again, our average compare ratio and the costs to minimum and midpoint. It will give us information about the salary range penetration, as well as employee-specific insights, so that we can see that some of our employees are way below minimum or midpoint values. And then the system will also calculate the costs per employee. This and many, many other things can be exported to Excel so that you can use this data in your own projects and files. So that's another feature that we have. And I'm skipping some of the more basic features right now. So yeah, that's gradar in a nutshell. It wasn't exactly 10 minutes, more like 18 something. I apologize. So if you're interested to see more about gradar and see this demo repeated as a live session, or if you have any more specific questions, you're most welcome to schedule another session with one of my teammates or myself. Just click on the button on our website or sign up for a demo and a free trial. We are most happy to welcome you on this on the platform and are looking forward to talk to you. Stay safe, have a good day, and bye-bye.
Gradar.